Welcome to 5-Minute Monster Views. I am your host, Monster D, and today do I have a talent for you. I first crossed paths with this person when I was a vendor for the nifty NovelCon. She is a mighty children's librarian at the Center County Library and Historical Museum. Let me present to you the one, the only, Laura Sarge. Laura, hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to the Monster Lair. How are you this day?
Doing well. I'm outside today. It's beautiful out here. I'm by my beautiful library sign. So, doing pretty good today.
Excellent. And are you ready for me to pull a monster right out of you?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, I will do so with this right here. This device is my magic monster maker. And with this device, I shall extract the very monster that has been lying dormant within your head all this time that you may not have even been aware of. All I need you to do is to give me a number between 1 and 8, and we will let the good times roar.
I will choose number 2.
2, excellent. So I'm going to give this a nice, light shake. Not too heavy. I do not want anything to wake up in there. More than usual. So now we will open and we will see if there is a number 2 in there. Is that your number?
2.
All right. So now I'm going to open, and then let's see what this says. Can you read that?
Favorite animal. Ooh.
Favorite animal indeed. And while I refurl this and place it back within, can you tell me what your favorite animal in the entire world is?
My favorite animal in the entire world is probably a panda bear.
Panda bear, excellent. Well, if you can bear it, I'm going to turn you into the most cuddly and clawful monster yet. So here's my time-telling device, and I'm beginning now. So tell me, Laura, as I begin to draw, when did you begin your journey as a children's librarian, and what keeps you enthused to do so now?
Well, I guess it really started when I was a child because I kind of struggled to learn how to read. Reading was really tough for me, but I really wanted to read, and visiting the library was a really important thing to me. I loved being there. I loved being around the books, even though I kind of struggled to read them. So for me, it's kind of a personal mission to share with children a love of reading, to showcase how fun it can be and that it doesn't need to be intimidating. So my work at the library is really about just helping children to find the books that make them laugh and make them love reading. I talk about building a relationship with books. You know, it's so much more than just being read the books that your mom picks or being read the books that you're told to read at school. It's about finding books that mean something to you. And it really took me finding a couple of key books that spoke to me and made me really, really want to get into reading, that helped me to get over my hurdle and my challenges with reading. I also worked at a Montessori school for a while, and I found that the kids kept on bringing me books to read. They really enjoyed how I read the books to them. So that kind of clued me into a moment of like, maybe I'm kind of good at this. So that's when I sought out the library position, and here I am over 10 years later.
I think that is an incredibly inspirational note that anyone listening can take. The fact that you began with a reading issue and now you're a librarian. That to me is just magnificent.
Thank you.
So tell me, what is it you like most about the panda bear? What draws you to this creature?
I think panda bears are just the silliest things. My daughter likes me to play videos for her. She likes to learn about things. And the other night she asked to learn about panda bears. And We didn't end up learning very much because we spent a lot of time just watching videos of pandas falling and rolling, and I just find them hilarious the way that they interact with their caretakers at zoos. They're very mischievous, constantly making messes and just poking fun, and I like that about them.
From some of the videos I've seen, you may find those keeper interactions a little more entertaining than the keepers in the moment.
Definitely.
So, as a librarian, what has been your most recent success?
Well, specifically this year, I would say a huge success was being able to transition our normal programming that we typically do in the library into virtual worlds. So a success for us was taking our story time that's meant for preschoolers, and instead of doing in-person story times or just reading on Facebook, we created a virtual story time room. So if you go to our webpage, you can find the virtual storytime room at centercountylibrary.org. And it's full, it's like a Google Classroom, if you're familiar with that. It's full of just different objects that you can click on. And those objects, when you click, will take you to activities you can do. We always have an art activity, a STEM activity. We have books that if you click on them, you'll see me and my other children librarians and our other branches reading those stories. So you still get to connect with us a little bit, see us reading, hear us reading to you, as well as telling jokes and singing songs and doing rhymes. So all the normal story time stuff we do is now in a virtual world. So that was a little intimidating, but now that we got used to the idea, it's actually kind of fun to put those rooms together. So I'd say that was our most recent success, was just being able to sort of transition into the online world. I also made a teen virtual space for the first time. So we actually have more going on for teens than we usually do, because in that space, I'm collecting content from online for them to be able to do research or just have fun. So I was linking a lot of those for teens to be able to find and, really interact with art. Just sort of linked from us. So whether they knew about it or not, they might find it through us. So I'd say it's been pretty successful to be able to still connect with our community during this crazy time we're in.
The teen room, did that come to you sort of on your own or a committee, or was there a pre-established demand for it?
No, there's not a demand for it. Unfortunately, it's a little bit challenging to get some teens to come into the library. We're, constantly competing with all of the other activities that they get involved in. So for me, it was a chance to be able to give them a space to showcase library services without making them come through our door. They can get on whenever they want. 2 a.m. if they're awake and bored, they can jump on and hang out in the teen space, and they can get a library card there. They can search our newest teen books in the catalog and request them. They can download ebooks. So it's just a really cool space for them to be able to gather without having to walk through our doors, and finding the time to be here when we're open. We've also done a really cool program called a book bundle program, and it's for all ages, and people sign up and it's like a subscription box. So every month we curate a special collection of books just for you based on your interests, and that's been really popular too with the kids and adults.
And few things gravitate me towards anything than when I hear the word curate. That just makes it that much more special. But by the way, you may have heard the timer went off. Okay. This is You Panda Eyes.
My panda!
So I have to ask. So you're outside in I guess the quasi suburban area there, but if you happen to turn around and say an actual panda walked from behind that library sign right now, how do you think you would react?
If it looked like that one, I'd be a bit terrified. But I don't know, a real one, I would have an internal struggle of, I really want to go hug that bear, but I probably shouldn't.
Speaking of huggable things, and perhaps even things that you want to hug and should not, I have to ask, what is your professional relationship with Horatio? And can you tell me, is there an ultimate outfit in your mind that he has yet to try on but should?
Well, Horatio is quite the star. He works for Treats, so that makes it easy to work with him because our maintains our budget, so we can still purchase books, which is helpful. He's a bit of a diva. He knows he's a star at this point, but he has brought so much attention to our library, and I'm very thankful for that. It's pretty amazing to see how everybody interacts with him online. Unfortunately, he does not actually live at the library, as most people hope and think. But he's a pretty cool cat. As for costumes, I don't think he has done either of my biggest fandoms, which would be Alice in Wonderland or Sailor Moon. So hopefully I can talk him into it. I was the one that talked him into doing Mr. Rogers and a few other ones. So I think I've got a little clout there. I can maybe get him to do Sailor Moon or Alice in Wonderland.
Now, with Alice, I have to ask, would you go with the obvious Cheshire Cat, or do you have another character in mind?
Most likely he'll dress like Alice. He's got quite the extensive closet of costumes. I'm betting one of his other dresses could probably transform into an Alice dress pretty easily.
I was going to say, if he's as much a diva as you claim, it would probably be hard to get him to smile that wide anyway.
Very true. Yes, he's not very Cheshire-y, no.
Excellent. So thank you for these questions, for hanging around for the drawing. I simply want to ask now, what are you most looking forward to in your life next?
Most looking forward to would be our summer library pursuit. It kicks off on June 21st, and last year we had to kind of scramble to create a virtual summer program, and we pulled it off, but it was a little bit nerve-wracking. We weren't really sure what to expect or what to even do. So this year we were able to put some planning time into it. Even though we weren't sure what we were looking at for this summer, we just sort of planned what we're calling a hybrid program, which is just kind of a blanket term that everybody's using for, some virtual things and some in-person things. Whatever you're comfortable with, you're welcome to come through our doors. We have weekly kits that you can come and pick up. If you're not comfortable coming to the library, you can still do everything through our webpage. So starting on June 21st, you can visit centercountylibrary.org and you can sign up. It's open to all ages. This is actually the first year we're doing a really robust adult program in addition to our children's program. And there are prizes to be won and activities to engage with. You'll get a reading log, but it's not just about reading. We have a lot of really fun activities that will earn you raffle tickets. So even if reading's not your thing, you can still take part in our library program over the summer and get a chance to win some really neat prizes.
Very, very nice. And I've heard a little bit about this program. If I understand correctly, I believe you have a category in folklore coming up. Sounds like there might be some interesting things added into that pile. Am I right?
Yes. So, as part of our virtual content, we've invited our good friend Monster D to come and do his wonderful drawing series. So it should be a really, really, really fun program for kids to learn about some local lore and some unique critters.
And by invite, you may well mean you just did not lock the doors on me, but I still take it as a great compliment.
No, we are so happy to have you join us. When I met you to invite you to NovelCon, I knew that we'd have a pretty strong partnership with the library and you, because I think a lot of your programs are pretty neat, and I think you support the literacy aspect too, which is really fun.
And I appreciate that. And I appreciate all that you do, not just for the children, but for the community at large here, And I love that you've said so much about not only providing for children and teens, but adults as well. And as well that you seem to be moving in a place where the physical library is returning, but the virtual is not just going to whoosh for those who are getting used to that as well. So you've rather augmented yourselves for what comes next.
Yep, librarians are nothing if not versatile.
Excellent. Well, Laura, I thank you so much for joining me today. I believe we are going to head out now. You should probably head in just in case that panda shows up. So I thank you again, and I hope that you, as well as everyone at home, stays monstrous. If you enjoyed this 5-minute monster view, you can go to my website right now and order your own 5-minute monster experience. Check it out today.
So at the library, you can check out a ukulele. We're not just about books, we're about all kinds of things. So if you want to learn how to play the ukulele, come to the library. You can check out a ukulele. It comes with a lesson guide book and CD, and you can learn too.